Hey y'all, this is Val here with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. In this video, we're going to be covering Xenia, the Light Boon Sister. Okay, so a quick note here. I actually had to turn down my graphic settings for the Windows 10 version of the game. The reason why it was causing a lot of crashes, I found that it is a lot more stable once I did that, so I apologize for the lower res graphics. But let's hop right into Xenia. She's awesome. She's talked about. She's required. We're going to cover everything about this young lady, why she's important to you, why you want to farm for her gear, and her skills. We're going to cover it all. So first off, we're going to talk about her skills. From her skills, we're going to talk about why you need to farm her and why she is crucial. So we're going to do a format a little bit different. Tell me in the comments what you think. So first, auto attack, skill 1. Erosion. Hurls a stream of water, dealing damage to an enemy from a distance. Every fourth attack has a chance to lower defense. Now here, we could build her attack speed, but it's really not worth it. There are other units that have lowers defense there. This is just here because, well, she's got to have an auto attack. So let's take a look at active skill 1. Scourge. Cracks a whip of water, damages enemies, and removes 3 buffs from each of them. So now we're getting into the money about what Xenia is all about and why you want to farm her. So this skill right here is required in SW10. Now you may look at some strippers and go, oh, well, this guy strips, but the key to Xenia is you take a look, she removes 3 buffs, not 1, not 2, but 3, and that's from everyone that she hits with this ability. Now this is very important because the Spider Widow, it actually has 2 buffs, a shield, and then it has its invulnerability buff. So if both of these are up, it doesn't matter. Xenia is going to strip both of them. Now some people use the light golem. So he only steals 1 buff and it's random. So if you're in a bad cycle where where the Widow happens to get both of the buffs up, you're going to have a 50-50 shot where the Basalt, the light golem, is going to actually strip the correct one. With Xenia, you don't have to worry about that. You know, assuming her accuracy is there, which is why you do want to build her accuracy, she is going to remove those buffs. This is key to starting in SW10 and to progressing into the harder ascended levels. She is a great unit simply because of this. The strip is just critical for you in beginning levels. And even later on, stripping is very important. It also matters in PvP. For this reason, you need accuracy. So let's move on to the next one. Wave of Celerity. Sends out an expanding ring of water that heals each ally it touches and lowers their skill cooldowns. When the ring reaches maximum range, it returns healing and lowering the skill cooldowns of each ally a second time. Healing is based on characters' max HP. Again, we're getting into the meat and potatoes of Xenia. Now, don't really look at the healing. The healing numbers aren't phenomenal. They can be really good if you build their extremely high HP, which you should be doing. But the money shot here in this skill is the cooldown reduction. So what happens is she sends out a ring with her as the center. The first time it goes out, you get healed and you get skill cooldown. Then it contracts and you get healed and you get skill cooldown again. So you're double stacking it. With high HP, she can heal decently for your team. This is another reason she is critical in your SW10 team. The more strips, the more heals, the more DPS, the more OGD you can get out, the faster the boss is going to die. These 2 abilities alone are highly worth farming Xenia. She's a farmable unit that gives you a 3 buff removal and double the skill cooldown. So she is essential to any starting team. I can't give her a high enough recommendation. Now let's go to the last skill. Torrential Strike. Summons a geyser of water in a line, damaging enemies and knocking them into the air. When they land, deals additional damage and stuns. Now this really doesn't help you in SW10, but this is good on PvP. She's a great starter unit for PvP. She'll heal you, she'll give you skill cooldowns, and she'll give you stuns. I highly recommend her. She is just an all-around amazing unit, and she will definitely serve you well. So let's hop into her gear. Now, as we saw, we do want accuracy, we do want HP. These are things that we absolutely need. The last key, the secret sauce to this, is you also need adept. Adept, anything that helps you meet either your accuracy or your HP goals is where you want to go. You can see I built her max HP, accuracy, and this is what you want to follow. If you can get accuracy in subs and get 100%, I highly recommend 100%. At minimum, I recommend 85%. But 100% accuracy is the goal. If you can get that without the bracers, then I would go HP, HP, HP. This will also have the benefit of increasing your heals and making her slightly more tanky in PvP. Let's take a look at my stats. Here, I only have 44k HP, or excuse me, 45k HP. It's not great. It's not the best. I'd really like to see her over 60k. As you saw, I do have some areas that I can improve in. If we go back here, I still have plus 15 my HP bracers, and I'm still running 4-star gear here. Just getting this to a 5 or 6-star piece, which will give me more main stat max HP, would be great. Also, getting a max HP percent substat would be even better. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffy right now. I'm not sure why. So going back to her info page, 45k HP. I've got 1100 defense. These two are very important. You want her to live. You want her to be tanky. And then lastly, I've got 89% accuracy. With the guild buff, I'm at 93%. But once I go ahead and I plus 15 this, as you can see, I'll get that extra 7% and I'll be at 100% accuracy with her, which is critical because you do not want to miss your strips. Now, your 2-piece bonus can be whatever you want as long as it helps you meet your stat goals. As you can see here, I went sturdy because of the 12% HP and the 10% accuracy. On this piece, I went with it because of the 13% accuracy, 22% defense, and 7% HP. So this was by far the best choice I had to give me the most max HP because that was what we're looking for, as well as accuracy. Now, you do have the option of going what they recommend here, vital, vital, vital. I don't recommend it though. The only reason I would recommend this is if you're starting out and you do not yet have access to adept gear. So you want to be farming ED4, ED5, whichever one you can do efficiently, get all your vital gear, and then hop into SW4. You want to farm that for at least 2 weeks so you can get all the adept gear you need for your units. That's pretty much what everyone goes through. Don't worry if you're like, oh, I tried ED7 or ED10 and I failed. That's because you do have to put in work at the lower SW to build up your adept gear, and then you have to go back to ED probably 7 and farm that to get even better gear before deciding if you're going to attempt SW10 or ED10. But this is how you want to build her. Adept anything. You want to focus on HP, defense, accuracy. Everything else is just gravy. If you want, you can pick up some resistance. That'll help you live and make you a little bit more tanky in PvP, but it's really not a requirement. So let's take a look at her in SW10. Here's my SW10 team. Now, exclude her. I am actually farming it for since the event, because I do need, she's my last 4-star I need, and then I'll be able to 6-star diva. But just exclude her. Normally, I run the Fire Snake Lady here, and the team is 100%. Alright, so here we go. We'll hit auto, and we're off to the races. I went ahead and I targeted her, so that way we can at least see her numbers fly by. The run is pretty painless. There's not much that we have to be afraid of. She's not here for DPS. She's not here for stuns, really. She's here to strip, heal, cooldown, reduce. Actually, it should be strip, cooldown, reduce, heal. Because healing is really secondary here. She is really good at it, though. I don't mean to discount her healing ability. It's just primarily I am looking for the strip and cooldown reduction. Now this is going to be slower simply because I do have fodder in here that I'm leveling, so we're not going to see a really fast run. Now, the good news is her and Manus work really well here together. Manus, if he keeps his buff block up, stripping will not be an issue. But if it should fall off, we do have Xenia here to pick up the slack. Very important. As of right now, you cannot one Manus this, because if he does miss the buff block and you do not have a stripper, you're going to go long and run the risk of someone dying and, of course, hitting the time limit and having her AoE. So the boss is dead. We did it in 1:39. Not terrible. Not terrible. We don't need that. That's flat stat bracer. Let's take a look. We can see here she healed 67,000 HP. Zeveron healed 41,000. And we kept our stuns up and our defense break up as well. So she is a great unit. Her value doesn't come from damage. And a lot of it doesn't come from healing. It's in that strip and it's in cooldown reduction. So just keep that in mind when building her. Again, you want to look at adept anything. And you want to go HP accuracy. If you can get all the accuracy you need in substats, then you want to go HP. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And all you dudes and dudettes out there, stay frosty.